Welcome to Inspiring China, a channel that brings you insights of technology, business, and lifestyle. Don't forget to click the subscribe and notification button. Share if you like it. Your support is my motivation. It was in July 2009 that started with some of the global social media websites that have been forbidden by the Chinese government since the Xinjiang riot, resulting in 200 deaths, 800 injuries, 261 civilian vehicles burned, and 200 plus shops destroyed. The terrorists used Facebook to communicate before and during the attack. After Facebook refused to block the terrorist accounts, the Chinese government has decided to block the application access from China. Nevertheless, businesses are allowed to use VPN for accessing the blocked sites for commercial purposes. Today, except some small inconveniences, it does not impact the daily lives of the general public, including foreigners living in China. In this episode, I've invited Alex Roberts, a practicing lawyer in Shanghai, to talk about the VPN situation in China today. Well, today I would like to welcome back Alex again from Linklaters, and he's the lawyer for Linklaters Shanghai office. And welcome again.
Nice to see you again, Greg. Thanks for having me.
So today, I think it's one of a very hot topic that a zillion people would like to ask. It's about the cross-border internet activity, aka VPN. So it is an area of interest for a lot of the non-Chinese observers, and whether or not it is legal to access applications like Facebook, or is it legal to use VPN from China?
It's a great question, Greg. A complex area of law here in China, but I think based on the statutes that we have now, there's no express rules prohibiting anyone based in mainland China from accessing sites like Facebook or other global social networks per se. But what we do have here in China are rules in the cyber security space around generally using and accessing information outside on the internet outside China. Prohibitions against accessing information which could be seen to have a detrimental effect on the Chinese economy, Chinese society, and obviously accessing information of a pornographic nature, for instance. But I guess this is not too dissimilar to some of the regimes that we see in other countries. So can only implore that users of the internet here are sensitive to these rules and mindful of them when they are going online.
Okay, so specifically, is it illegal to access a foreign website from a block website from China?
Yeah, no, so there's no express rules which block any particular websites. And I guess the question often comes to whether you can use a virtual private network to access those sites. And again, there's no explicit rules prohibiting people from using VPNs. And I think what's important for business operators to think about here is that actually there are rules permitting the use of VPNs or similar arrangements like leased lines for business activities.
So Alex, why don't you elaborate a bit further on in terms of the usage from business and individual perspective on over VPN?
Sure. So here in China we have currently 4 providers of VPNs. Interestingly, the services are specifically targeted at businesses and businesses that are registered with the regulators to actually use a VPN service for business purposes. So business purposes in this sense is called non-operational purposes. So this is when you're using as a business the VPN to for point-to-point corporate communication. So if you have a foreign headquarters, for instance, or you want to communicate via email or other electronic means with other affiliates in or outside China. Where companies potentially get sanctioned is when they're going outside this definition and actually selling VPN services themselves. That's where we see the sort of headlines against people being prosecuted for using or actually providing VPN services when they're not licensed.
So what do the foreign visitors or foreign residents in China need to watch out for, in terms of the usage of VPN here?
Yeah, so again, there's no rules that are specific to foreign residents or visitors using VPNs here, and I guess it's the same if one of us travels to another country. We need to observe the local laws in the same way that locals do there. I guess what's interesting for instance, foreign students that come here, to China is in the same way that businesses are permitted to use VPNs for business purposes. Academic institutions are also permitted to provide VPN services to their students. So I know that foreign students at Fudan here in Shanghai, for instance, or NYU Shanghai campus, they are provided with VPN services legitimately for academic study purposes. In the same way, foreign visitors that come to Shanghai, it's quite notable that a number of the big international hotels provide VPN services to guests. In the same way that they give access to foreign satellite and TV channels, they give you VPN access so you can use the websites that we're used to using when you're at home.
Right. And quite honestly, I mean, over 15 years of my working in China, or living and working in China, I've never come across about any individual corporation actually being prosecuted by the regulator, by the police, in terms of VPN usage. So I guess, this is much of a concern, I guess, from foreigner, living and working in China.
Yeah, I think that's a good assessment.
Okay, I guess, just to sum up what you have explained, Alex, is that there are no specific law forbidding people or corporations to access a foreign website from China, right? And the VPN usage for corporations through licensed carriers are okay. And then finally, the hotels and corporations, including universities as mentioned, have VPN access that could be used by both local citizens and foreigners. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Before closing, here are a few points to note. According to a 2014 report by Global Web Index on global social media usage, 20% of China's population uses VPN to access some of the blocked global websites. I believe this includes commercial use also, which is probably why the country allows such usage. However, it is considered illegal to use VPN if you conduct any of the below activities: instigate resistance to or undermine the Constitution, instigate subversion of state power, incite national hatred or discrimination, spread superstition, pornography, violence, etc., openly insult or slander others. If you do none of the above, what's the worry? Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting topics and don't forget to leave your comments. See you in the next episode.